Welcome back to the Healing Voice Podcast. My name is Lance Howard, and in this episode, I begin a series titled Create the Life You Love. In part one of this series, we discuss the role our thoughts and desires play in creating our lives, a 7-step process for pursuing the life we love and understanding the foundation of a successful plan. Many of you feel the inspiration of your own heart calling you to do something more, to make a change and to make a difference. You want to pursue your dreams. You want to know how to invest in healthy and passionate relationships, to experience true connection and a sense of belonging. You want to know, what am I here to do and how will I do it? Identity, who you are, and purpose, what you are here to do, are the most valuable things in life. If you're looking to live on purpose, to create a life you love, and see your dreams come to life, you're invited to the identity process and the inner circle. Enjoy.
The dream team, and it's not just the movies that play in our mind while we're sleeping, but our aspirations, who we're choosing to be and how we choose to show up in the world, and what we're here to do and how we will do it. And so I want to start this series that I don't know how long it's going to go, but at least 3 to 4 weeks, I think, of learning to tap in and be meaning there is power available. There is energy available for us to tap into, to create. I'm just going to leave it at that. There's power. There's energy that we can tap into to create. And in fact, you are already using it and don't realize that you are. Unless you do. If you've been around long enough, maybe you begin to tap into the wisdom of going, oh, I actually have been using this all along. I just didn't realize it. For example, when you say, see, this always happens to me. That means you've tapped into the energy of causing that thing to always happen. And so how do we use that power to cause to happen the thing that we would choose to love? Because right now we're tapping in and creating something that we don't want. And we're, this always happens to me, or that's just my luck. This kind of talk is you tapping into the power. You fully believe that it's just your luck, and you fully believe that this always happens to me. And that certainty, that belief is tapping into the power and keeps the cycle going because you believe so strongly. And that's all it takes is your belief. That's all it takes is your belief. It's that simple. Your wholehearted belief, which another word for that is faith. So from chapter 2 of the identity process, which is a complete book, but it's being edited right now. From chapter 2, it says, life manifests the proper things that align with our focus or aim. When you aim at the level of your highest or best focus, life begins to shift because your perception demands and requires it by the very nature of your motivations and emotions. Such a phenomenon organizes what you see as available or unavailable. It organizes what doors will close and what opportunities will open to you. This is true even of the problems or challenges you encounter, which you will tackle with a unique energy and determination because your focus demands it. It is all part of the road that is leading to your focus and because of your focus. Each day is related to the highest aim you can make sense of. This productivity, efficiency, and efficacy is the rewiring of your brain, your habits, and how you show up in the world. It is the organic, creative process leading us all to self-discovery. So that's just a snippet from chapter 2 about how life is really on your side to make anything happen. So this first section is titled Affection, Pure Attraction, Magnetic Love. They are different ways of saying one thing, and it's desire. Desire requires you to have some sort of affection towards something, right? Some kind of attraction to it. Something's magnetic there, right? So the stronger the emotion, the stronger the magic, or the stronger the creation. And what I was saying earlier was that we've already been tapping into this power and this energy, and you know you've tapped into it when you say things like, see, that's why this always happens to me. You've tapped into the power, but you're using it in a negative way, which is why you see the thing repeated over and over. You wholeheartedly believe whatever it is about that circumstance, and you keep creating it. Life keeps giving it to you over and over again.
Because it's a mirror, it's a reflection.
Yes, yes. The stronger the emotion, which is emotion's a way of saying energy in motion. The stronger the energy in motion, the stronger the magic or the creation. Thoughts are things which translate into reality.
Yeah.
The stronger the purpose, the stronger the persistence or the belief, and the magnetic desire, which is a way of saying affection and pure attraction, the more powerful the manifestation. Okay, so the stronger the purpose or the persistence or the belief, the stronger the desire, the more powerful the manifestation. This is your way of tapping in. Find that point of attraction, that point of affection, or that magnetic draw for the thing that you would actually choose or the thing that you would love. If you would say, man, I'd love to have this, or I'd love to experience this, that's the point of attraction, and that's what you want to go for. If you're clearly saying you don't or would not choose some situation or circumstance, then you have to be very careful to push that away. And the way you push it away is to not put attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Put attention to what you would choose, not what you wouldn't. This is...
Give it your energy.
Don't give it any energy whatsoever. Whatever. So circumstances aren't always ideal, but it's only the way we think. The way we think is the only thing we have power over. And that's the power right there. It's just the way you think. Because one person can be in the same situation as you and perceive it very differently. So it's not the situation itself that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You and I are the problem in the situation, most likely.
Yeah.
You know? Like, when I went out to my truck a couple days ago, I guess, it's Thursday, I think it was Tuesday, my truck wouldn't start. And so here the mind begins. Wants to create all kinds of stories about what could have gone wrong and why and how much money it might cost to get it fixed and why isn't this working, and all the worries begin to stack up. And so my truck not starting became the opportunity for me to tap into the power. And okay, how am I breathing? How's my posture? It gave me the opportunity to practice that on something I don't get to practice on that often because my vehicle normally runs, right? So you'll think you're tapped into the power. You'll think what I'm saying is, as we gain skills in creating the life that we love, we'll think we have it all figured out, but you haven't used those skills in every possible situation. So you don't know how to apply them until that situation comes, you know? So don't be surprised if you lose it and you know, and then you're like, oh, okay, like that's the learning, the schoolmaster, so to
recalibrate
speak. Exactly.
to the new situation.
The new situation.
With the skills that you have. But,
exactly. And it's all, that is all so good. It all is working in your favor, because if you just have that self-awareness, then you're automatically learning. You're automatically applying it in a way that you hadn't before. But it's not going to be perfect the first time you have to go at that particular thing, you know. So I've struggled is what I'm saying. And it's been brief moments of struggle. It hasn't ruined my days, but there's been half an hour segments where I've been like, oh, I don't feel so good about this, you know, and then I remind myself of all the things I know, and this is my gesture for centering myself, right? I remind myself of the things that I know. It's like, I'm making up all kinds of stuff in my head about this, and that's the cause of my stress.
Yeah.
It's not that the truck is sitting out there. Like, life has been so generous to give me just what I need in this moment to get from point A to point B and to take care of all my responsibilities. Why am I letting this one thing that's out of my control kind of flip me upside down as if I don't have control of my life just because of a vehicle? Like, no, that's silly. That really is silly. If one realizes their identity and purpose and stands by that with all their will, they will command the story of their life in the most satisfactory way. They will learn to see the appearance of defeat as the stepping stones of opportunity.
Right.
So identity and purpose are huge. This is what the identity process is about. Being able to answer the questions, who am I and what am I here to do? That always brings you back to center. If you don't have that, then you're just wandering around. You don't know where to aim or how to get back to some kind of focus that really means something, you know? But when you know who you are and what you're here to do, you won't wander in the desert for too long because you're like, this isn't me. I have things to do. I have very important, valuable things to do. And you have a strong sense that life is on your side when you know your identity and purpose, because that's what identity and purpose are. It's like, oh, I have a reason to be here. I have something, you know, there's a call on my life to do something. And in this sense, you have like a new encouragement that's kind of always with you, no matter what the circumstances bring your way. This is more than positive thinking. It is true belief, which saturates the subconscious mind. Once the subconscious mind is saturated, manifestation requires no hard work and minimal effort. Okay, so the conscious mind is... I'm trying not to go down the rabbit hole too much on this. The conscious mind is... The conscious mind is connected to your awareness in the moment. The subconscious mind is the part of you that is seeing and listening, whether you know it's seeing or listening or not. You'll say, I know I heard someone say that somewhere, but I don't know where I heard it. And that was the subconscious mind listening to the conversation in the other room, though you were here maybe doing something else. The subconscious can pick up things. It's super awareness. This is the subconscious. Consciousness is what's right in front of your face. You're aware of it right here and right now. But all the while, the subconscious is hearing that, what's this device called? In
Diffuser.
The subconscious is hearing the diffuser. You're hearing me, but your subconscious is hearing that. You know, so that's an example of what's right before you and what's kind of happening in the background. The subconscious is picking up on that. So you may be saying or acting in a certain way right here, right now, but what's happening within you, the subconscious is fully aware of that, of what's happening in the background, okay? Which is like, yeah. So this goes back to your belief, because the true beliefs may not be coming out of your mouth, but you're definitely feeling them. You're definitely sensing certain things, right? There's definitely a narrative playing in your head. The subconscious is fully aware of this. And the subconscious is the link to this power. It understands what you truly believe, and it goes to work on what you truly believe. So altering your beliefs becomes super important because you want the subconscious to work on your behalf for the good that you want to create in your world. Versus, we all know religious people who can talk a lot about the love of God, but you don't see love in their behavior. So they have love as a conscious thing that they discuss, but that's kind of not really the energy that they carry around, you know? What's the connection? Why did I go down that road?
Because their subconscious, like what they're bringing subconsciously is not what they're putting in their conscious
Yeah,
world.
their true belief comes out in their
It's
actions
showing.
more than their words.
Yeah.
It's changing the belief is what I was getting at, right? We're trying to alter our belief. And we can see when your beliefs are altered. I can see when your beliefs are altered because your behavior will shift. And anyone can put on an act, but I'm not talking about that. It's when a person like myself is in the moment, I can see the real you shine through your actions and through your words, and I can almost feel it when the words aren't genuine. So I'm not paying attention to the ingenuine words at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have that experience with people at the gym. You know,
Mhm.
talking to somebody, and you can just tell that there's something just really just driving them crazy inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can feel it,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you can just see it when you say, "How are you doing?" and they're okay or whatever, but you can see it.
Yeah. As a human, you hold the power to bring whatever you desire, for better and for worse. That's the kicker. The power is available for better or for worse, for good or for bad, for light or for dark. That is the power.
Right.
Oh, that is the power. If you choose to succeed in every moment, then success fills your consciousness and your experience. If you hold a stronger belief for failure, then failure will fill your consciousness and your experience. So, guiding principle number 1. Life is vibrating energy, and that includes your thoughts. The universe is full of a power that adapts to your thoughts because the thoughts are the mind. And now we're talking capital M, the mind, pure intelligence, pure awareness, pure consciousness. There's only one mind, right? We are all connected to this one. We can call it a server. And you are each data points connected to this one server, the one mind. This mind is pure creative energy, but to bring the mind is pure creative energy to bring the visible into the visible with a physical equivalent. So whatever the thought is, which is where the real belief is, then the subconscious goes to work to bring that into the physical realm. And you'll see it. You'll begin seeing it, even if it's not physically manifest, but it'll show up. You'll go, this is my experience. This thought keeps coming to mind, and now everywhere I go, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
You know, so this is the proof, right? That it's all about the thought and the belief, and then the connection, and now the energy begins to roll, and it just picks up speed. Take a look at your thoughts and determine whether or not you really want your life to be full of what you're thinking. That's a really good, I love that one. Take a look at your thoughts and determine whether or not you really want your life to be full of what you are thinking. The next guiding principle. Magnetic desire, affection, and pure attraction transcends everything and is the beginning. Your focus becomes the goal, and that requires the majority of your energy. It does not feel like work, but is the largest part of who you are and what you are here to do. Talking about the focus and the goal. This is connected to your identity and your purpose. Your focus becomes the goal, and that requires the majority of your energy. It not only does it require it, it naturally just pulls you to put all your energy into it, right? Like, this is the most real investment, the most true investment you can make is to know your identity, know your purpose, and then put all of yourself into that. It doesn't feel like work, but it's because it's the largest part of who you are and what you're here to do. You invest all that you are into that goal, into that vision, into that magnetic desire, into that dream, and you seek no other. It cleans up your life, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
It weeds out the things that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
You're like, this isn't me. I don't even need that anymore.
You don't need that.
These people are not my people, so to speak, right? Or like there may be certain friends or certain groups you're like, I have to get that out of my life. That's
Yeah.
not helping me stay on the track
Right.
of my identity and my purpose.
Drinking buddies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, Yeah. It's not that you care less about the people in particular. It's just that that's some kind of distraction for you personally, and you're not interested in being distracted anymore. So here is, it's going to get a little thick for a second. This is from James chapter 1, 22 through 25. It says, "Become creative poets, skilled performers, authors and producers of the Logos,
Oh, yeah.
the cosmic language,
Yep.
the creative voice in every voice, the one concept of all concepts, the formula of all formulas. This is the Logos, the thought and the original thinker, the support of every perception and the perceiver, the program in all programs, and the programmer, the functional organization and reason for everything. This is the Logos. The sacred message and the messenger, the narrative and the narrator, the complete projection and projector of life. This is the Logos. Become skilled with this. Don't only be a listener to the cosmic language, the voice, the thought, and the word. This is the Logos, because then you only delude yourself, falsely thinking you're accomplishing something. Right? So it's like, right now, we're getting all these nuggets and principles, but if we don't become skilled with it, we'll end up thinking we're getting some...
Yeah, we got to do some work with it.
You got to work with it, which is why it starts off saying, become a creative poet, a skilled performer, an author and producer of the Logos. Use this power. You have it. It's already with you. Use this power. Use this energy. Those who are merely listeners to the creative word, the Logos, but are not skilled creators with it, are like people who are seeing themselves, seeing their person and presence in a mirror, but don't recognize their organic, original, true self. They observe themselves in the mirror and walk away and immediately forget how great they are. We're talking about the Logos, and that it's connected to you. So when you look in the mirror, you're seeing the Logos in action. The very fact that you have the power and the perception to look and to judge and to think and to discern and to differentiate, that's the Logos at work. You're looking right at it. And you're looking with it simultaneously. When you look at me, you are looking at the Logos, and you are perceiving with the Logos, and you are using the Logos, and this, the Logos in this form, this differentiation that we call Lance, is looking back at the Logos in the form and differentiation of Jesse, and you, and you, and you. Like, it's amazing. It's powerful. This is where we get the term universe. Like, there's
One
unity
word.
in
Verse.
Mhm.
What does verse mean?
Well, it's in diversity, right?
So
Verse
die.
out of diversity.
cool.
That
Verse.
there's multiple parts, but uni means one. So one in multiple parts. This is the universe.
Yeah, one. Okay.
This is unity and diversity. These are ways to retranslate the term God.
Right.
Universe. One song, right? One verses in songs, one song. It's happening. Different vibrations. And if we are in harmony with one another, the music is beautiful. We can create and do amazing things.
Powerful.
I think we're going to get to that, actually. We are going to get to
Music
how.
and dance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because it's old.
Mm-hmm. Those who look carefully into the perfect principle of unrestrained life, the formula, the equation, the principle of freedom, the Logos, this is all saying the same thing in these creative ways. If you inspect it with curiosity so as to become well acquainted with the image which you are, this is still just the Logos we're talking about. You are the image of that thing, capital T, thing. If you apply it and make use of it, if you use that state of mind, learning to think and act appropriately, not being negligent or forgetful hearers, but using that equation creatively, working with the creative principle accurately, you will be fortunate and happy, truly successful in understanding and operating the laws of life.
Uh-huh.
You will be a creator walking the planet. You already are that, but you will know it for yourself. I am.
That was what got in between the human race, you know. They got in between the creativity, and we ended up creating a reality that serves a certain, a certain group that have gotten drunk off of the power they have. And and then people, they're falling apart and they're going crazy and they're doing all this and killing themselves or whatever.
Right.
It's like, because nobody taught them how to do that, how powerful they were. They just thought we were. I mean, what do a lot of people think they are? We've all done it, right? What am I? I'm an employee, and I need to do a better job, or I'm not. How come I'm not making more money? And it's just like,
yeah,
I get what you're saying. That's some deep shit, man. It's good. That's what's going around, though. What I'm seeing with you guys, I'm seeing this everywhere. It's going on.
Yeah.
In my group of friends, people I know, it's happening.
Right.
Some people I can't talk to about it. They're real, they're real closed up right now. And I'm like, this is the opportunity.
Yes.
We're finding out who we are now. This is a window. Mm-hmm. We have a window to break out of it.
Right. Yep. So true. It's time for the change. It's time. And it's been a long time coming, and it's been a slow shift.
Even that concept, the time for a change that's also going to be used. There's duality in that too.
Yeah.
There's government sponsored change or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Like, hey, it's time for a change. Hey, this is a great reset. It's just you can't hijack that.
Right. Yep. It's true. It's true. Knowledgeable citizens know how to use the laws of the country for their advantage. Becoming skilled at something means we understand how to use that thing to manipulate our experience so we can achieve the result we hold in mind. Like this, life has a very unique set of rules or laws which are sacred. Rules or laws, and I have quotes around rules and laws. Rules or laws may be, a term that we're not always super comfortable with, but the ancient word actually means something closer to guiding principles.
Yeah.
Principles of life. These principles are the pathway for true success. If you truly understand these rules and learn how to use them, you can be a truly blessed person of absolute fortune, knowing who you truly are, where you come from, what you're here to do, and where you're headed. The Logos is love, essentially. The Logos is love. And we broke it down in a lot of ways. Cosmic language, creative voice, the one concept, the formula, the thought, the thinker, the concept, the program, the functional organization, reasons for everything, the sacred message, the narrative, the projector, and the projection. All of that is a way of defining what is the Logos, what is this creative word. And if we had to simplify it to one word, it's love. Love is
all you need.
It's it's all you need.
John Lennon said it.
The reason why we're calling it love is because of its audacity to give each and every one of us the free will to use the power however we want. That's the most loving thing ever. Like you were saying earlier about your kids and how you've tried to essentially allow them to think for themselves around their belief sets.
Yeah.
That is love. That you encourage them to think for themselves and you let the result or consequence be whatever it is, for better or for worse.
Right.
This is love. The Logos is love. It has given you the power and is letting you choose without manipulating you or anything. Now religion will try to manipulate and control you, but that's not what the actual Logos is about.
Right.
That passage from James that I retranslated out of this book we call the Bible was not intended for religious control or It's not intended for that. It's clearly pointing out the principles of life, and that's it. That's all it's pointing out. It's not saying you have to do or be like anyone. It's saying, look, there only is one anyway. You are that one. You are one with that one. It's just that clear. It's just that simple. Imagine what happens if a group like this one knows these principles, knows true identity as we've been discussing it. There's a verse for that, actually. It's from Matthew 18, verse 20. It says, wherever two or more souls come together in harmony and rhythm with the energy and frequency of the I am, there I am will be.
That's awesome.
I am will be there, among them and within them.
That's right.
They will resonate with the true self. There's that term, resonate, going back to frequency, energy versus music, harmony, right? They will resonate with the true self, achieving a higher state of awareness, consciousness, and love. They will entangle with the I am, the self behind, within, and among their self. Wow.
Damn. It's the good stuff.
The good.
It's that good. Have you ever seen it? If you don't have experience with instruments or stringed instruments or instruments that resonate, one instrument can cause another one that has a similar shape to ring at the same frequency.
Yeah.
So if I hit one instrument, the other one that's not even being touched, you'll hear it reverberate into that instrument.
Yeah.
And that is just pure science. And that is what is being discussed here about the group of people. It only takes one person to set the frequency and it'll pick up.
That is so cool.
And then all of us, this is life. Welcome to life. So
I know we missed out on so much growing up. We should have had, that culture, that singing and dancing together and playing music.
Right.
I mean, that's powerful.
That promotes life.
You can't mess with that.
Right.
You can't. When
It's
people
true.
are really in harmony like that, you can't get close. It's just not permitted. If you're not feeling it, then go on,
So we just talked about how the frequency picks up. All that makes sense. Now imagine, that sounds wonderful until you get a nation of people all tuning into the same frequency.
Yes.
Of negativity.
Of negativity.
And then what are they creating?
By TV screen, by radio,
my
by
God.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
And then you have
see
this.
the results.
Now you have a song that's playing, beginning to cover the
We're in a
globe,
spell.
and it's spelled. We just took it to the global level really fast, but it can happen in a room with people too, right? Which is why I was saying earlier about the friends that we choose. You begin to realize, like, distraction. The frequency doesn't match, and I don't want to ring at that frequency.
Yeah.
But if you choose your tribe well, you've brought creators together.
That's
and
right.
Nothing is impossible for that group of people. Like they have more power than. Gosh, I'm just going to throw out a number. I don't know this for sure. I know there's some science on it though. Dr. Joe Dispenza does work around this. I bet Greg Braden does work around it as well as Bruce Lipton, knowing like the amplitude of positive frequency versus the amplitude of negative frequency, and the power in the positive compared to the negative. One person can, let's just say, overpower or outpower 10 in the negative side, 1 on the lighter side or the happier or loving side, let's say it that way. If it's operating in love, it's 10 times more powerful. This is just a way of saying it. Someone should do some research on that for me and report back to me. I'm saying it to whoever's listening. This is interesting. I said that, and I have a quote from Paul Pearsall, who wrote The Heart's Code. The pair program's research at Princeton University has confirmed that two persons in a loving bond, connected heart to heart, have stronger energy influences than persons working together who do not share this type of love or power of resonating energy bonds. They point out that the recipe for the life force energy influence is also the recipe for any form of love. The surrender of self-centered interests of the partners in favor of their pair. So if we can get people to think as a unit and begin to have that mutual respect for one another, that mutual adoration for one another, unstoppable. The THV version of 1 Corinthians 13, I'll just read a little bit of it because it's kind of lengthy. I'm going to skip to... This is a good one. If I give my possessions in order to feed the poor, and even if I give my body and self-image to be burned, making the ultimate sacrifice, but am not centered and connected, realizing I am love, goodwill, and affection due to full awareness of sacred unity, the interdependent one in the sameness, unity in diversity, I still have no advantage. This is good. I'm going to take you straight to the heart of this, and I'm going to take you straight to the heart of this because it's amazing. The great love, everywhere all the time, never, not at any time, falls powerless or without effect. If there be divine inspiration, the declaring of the purposes of the divine, and foretelling of future events, they shall be brought to an end. If there are languages, they shall cease. If there is deep knowledge and advanced understanding, it shall vanish away. Okay, so it's saying love lasts. Everything else will disappear. For we know and understand and perceive things imperfectly, and so we teach and we admonish and we comfort imperfectly. But at the time when that which is the complete, mature, and full thing, the truth of love becomes known, then that which is imperfect, incomplete, immature, and partial will be inactive and inoperable. That's a way of saying the way we've been living our lives with the continual cycle of like negativity, like, oh, this always happens to me. We have known and we have understood things imperfectly. But when that which is complete, full, mature, perfect, this is the logos, when that comes into your life, then you begin to know things higher and higher and higher to the perfect state. When I was simple-minded, unskilled, untaught, and unaware, I used words in order to declare my mind and disclose my thoughts in the way a simple-minded person would, right? It's like that's the way we were taught. We were taught, in such a simple and ignorant way. And so that's the way I learned to express myself. That's the way I learned to create in my life. The way I expressed my mind and my mental disposition, the way I felt and my opinions were that of a simple-minded person. But when I became mature, realizing that which is complete, capital C, this is the logos, this is love. When I realized that which is complete and full within me, my simple-minded ways of understanding were brought to an end. So now, in the current state of things, we mentally discern, we observe, we perceive, we discover, we understand things like we're looking into a steel mirror. Okay, have you ever been to a rest stop and there's a steel mirror in there instead of actual glass? Yeah. You can see, but it's so unclear, right? You can't fix your makeup in there.
It's like prison. The ones in prison too.
And the ones in prison, right?
Yeah.
You can't really, you can see a good outline and a decent enough image and colors, but there's no fine detail to actually give you the truth of what is right in front of that steel mirror. Okay. It's like looking at an enigma, a proverb, a mystery, a riddle, an obscure thing. But when the true reality and ultimate conclusion, this is the logos, this is the love. When that comes to us, we will discern and observe and perceive and discover and understand and experience it perfectly, as if it is face to face, as if it is not only a very clear, clean mirror, but as if a copy of me is right there in front of me, three-dimensional. This is what the logos will do in our lives. Up until now and presently, I know, understand, and perceive incompletely. But then, when that perfect comes, when the obviousness of unity comes, how obvious it is that we are one. And if I do anything against you, I'm doing it against myself. When it becomes so clear and that obvious, I will become thoroughly acquainted with it, with the capital It, knowing thoroughly and accurately just as much as I am thoroughly and accurately known. Right? I'll have that pure reflection. I can see how clear it is and how clear I am, and the whole unity thing, like staring at my own self. I'm going to slow down a bit. Moreover, besides all this, at this very moment, these three exist. Faith, which is strong conviction of truth and unwavering trust. Hope, joyful and confident expectation. And love, the I am of all I ams. Love is the truth of who you are. It is the I am of all I ams. It is the greatest, the largest, the strongest, and the eldest of these. It is the true identity. It is goodwill and affection due to full awareness of sacred unity, the interdependent one and the sameness of unity in diversity. It was, is, and will always be first and still be when everything else fades away. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Any questions on the logos and love and anything before I go to this? I think I have a little bit left. It's 7 steps and a little bit on a plan. Like, what does it mean to have a plan? Because not only do I want to create my life, but as I'm going for my purpose, I need a plan, right? How do I do it is the thing. Okay, I know the power and the source. It is within me. I'm one with it. It's love. That's the simplest way to describe it. It's love, and any good adjective you want to describe it with, right? I've used a lot of terms to describe it. Okay, step 1. Know exactly what you choose to love. Know exactly what you choose to love. That magnet draws you to it for good. That's step 1. Know what you choose to love. If you see something and it's close but not quite it, don't go there. Unless you have to. There's always that caveat. Unless you have to. If you have to, then this becomes another opportunity for you to learn. You will have to learn through this thing that's not quite what you love. Oh man, that's hard for us. If it's just close enough, we'll typically just go with it. It's like, well, this may never come around again or something, right? But
Scarcity.
why do you have more belief in the negative than the good? Like, oh, this over here always happens to me. And you begin to create it, but you can't have that same energy for the good that you would choose to love. Life is on your side. Go for what you love. Focus on it. Set the intention. I'll give you more steps on how to do that. Step 2, know what you're willing to give for that thing. Whatever you love, what are you willing to give for it? I should be really clear too. If you say you love something, let's just put this question out there. If you say you love something or someone, what are you willing to give for it? Any ideas? If you love something or someone, truly, what are you willing to give?
Anything, everything.
Anything and everything. If you love someone, I'll give everything. There's no price that's too much. There's no sacrifice that's too small. If you choose to love it, you'll know if you really love it if you're willing to give everything for it. Okay, step 3.
Like Jesus said, lay down his life for it.
Yes.
That was the definition in his terms anyway, right?
Right. Yeah. You will put your life on the line for what you love, including your dream. If you really love it, then you're going to put yourself out there to go after it. Or else you're going to sit on the couch and be miserable every evening after work because you know your dream is out there, but you weren't willing to have the courage to go after it.
So what happens if you have multiple dreams and only one life?
Multiple dreams can be accomplished in one life. You just have to get really clear. That's what the identity process manual is about, is to help you get really clear on how am I going to pull this together. I feel inspired to do a few things. Okay, you have Lance Howard, musician, author, athlete, what else? Coach, some people have called me a philosopher. My struggle for years was, how am I going to bring all of this together? I thought they all had to be separate pieces and couldn't figure out how to divide my time between them all. And THV's become the thing that is the overarching umbrella for all of them to just bless the world.
Yes.
And it's just one message using all these elements of myself.
Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's radical.
I'm super encouraged by that. Thank you. Step 3, establish a day or time period in which you intend to possess that thing. Okay, so that's really specific. It's like, if there's something you say you love and you want to go for, you have a specific purpose in mind, a dream. Maybe it's a new business. Maybe it's a book you're writing. Maybe, right, whatever the thing is, establish the day or the time period that you're going to go do it, or the time period it's going to take to possess the thing, or to acquire, or to accomplish. Number 4, begin to see in your mind's eye the thing coming to you, believing it and feeling it. That's the powerful piece, because we said that's where the power lies. That's how the subconscious is informed of what you truly want, is because your belief is involved. And you know what you believe, you feel it in your body, right? It's like if you believe in love, man, you feel good. It's just like, whoo, your body feels good and you're happy and everyone's like, what's gotten into you, You believe it, And when you believe something that's horrible, it's written all over your face, it's in your posture, it's in your body. Suddenly you're wondering why your neck is sore, and it's like, you got to see it, you have to believe it. And then your body begins to know. So you're not surprised when the negative thing comes to you. Think about it. When the negative thing comes, you're typically like, gosh, I kind of had a hunch.
I knew this was coming.
I knew this was coming. Yeah, you're right, you knew, because you were already seeing it or believing it on some level. That's the subconscious at work. Now, if we work on our beliefs, then when the positive thing comes, we'll be able to say the same thing. You're not surprised when that opportunity shows up. You're like, yep, I knew it. That's me. I've been doing this. I've been working at it. Thank you very much. You are one with the one I am. There's nothing to boast of. It's not pride or arrogance to know that you're involved in the creative process. It's your birthright to do this. This is
right.
your power.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Put things in order mentally and physically so you're ready to receive the thing. That's still part of number 4, about seeing it in your mind, believing it, feeling it, which also means you're going to begin to adapt your life, right? It's like mentally and physically. Look, if I'm expecting some kind of way, I'm going to create a new couch and I can't afford that $1,500 leather one, but I'm expecting the couch to show up. I'm going to clear the space for the couch. This is putting it into motion, the belief putting it into motion, right? Is emotion. It's belief. It's seeing where it's going to go and how it's going to fit. And you may go measure it at the store, and they're like, "Oh, you want that?" You're like, "Yeah, I'm going to get this." You're like, can you imagine having this kind of smile and energy about that? Like, yeah, I'm going to get this. I'm not going to purchase it, but I know it's going to show up in my house.
Straight up my long arm frame that you went and helped me pick up. Like, that is 100% what happened.
Can you tell us the story?
So I'm a quilter, and at the beginning of the year, I decided I was going to save money, and when I reached $5,000, I was going to purchase this long arm quilting machine. And I'm in a Facebook group that is just a giving and receiving group, and a lady posted that she had this. It's not a $5,000 frame. It's probably a $2,000 frame that she's leaving state, and she isn't taking it with her. And I just said, I would love for you to consider me. I'm building my quilting business. And she picked me, and I cried for 2 days because I was just I still get overwhelmed with like, holy cow. But legit, the week before, I cleaned my entire garage out so my car could sleep in the garage, right? But like, there's a space. The quilting frame is now in my garage. Like, you do the work, you put it out there, you stay positive, and the universe provides. The end.
Love it. Love it. Oh.
Do you want another story on that I've probably already told in this group?
Sure.
But I don't know.
Yeah, go for it.
When I was working, I had just started working for the first time in 8 years. I'd been a stay-at-home mom, whatever, before that. But I just got this job. My marriage was not going well, and I was feeling the need to establish some kind of independence because things were really, really scary. And I was listening to my favorite radio station, and I heard an ad come on that said, we're having a drawing, put your name in, come to the location where we're doing this drawing, whatever, and try to win this thing. And so I started doing that because I was really excited about the prize, and I thought, I believe in this. I believe that I can win this because it's a local radio station, it's a local drawing. They have to announce the winner. It's a real thing. And I believed in it, and so I started putting my name in the box, to win this thing. And not only that, but my son, who was only 6 at the time, he'd be in my car with me when I'd go do this, and he would say, "Mom, you're going to win that." And he absolutely 100% believed that I was actually going to win it. And then I had a competition with my friend at work who was like, "No, I'm going to win that," because she's like, "I want that also." Okay. And I said, "Well, we'll see, but I'm actually going to go put my name in the box. Are you going to do that?" And it took like 3 months of summer or whatever of doing that. And eventually I got a phone call while I'm sitting at my desk at work with the person I was having the competition with. She's right across the office from me. And the call was to tell me that I had won a brand new Camaro, which was what I needed to have independence from the life before, because I needed my own car. The car that I had been driving was, on a lease that I couldn't afford on my own and all that kind of stuff. And just everything fell into place. And suddenly I literally had the wheels and the keys to my freedom.
Yes.
And awesome.
Yeah,
and it was unbelievable, but it was believable. It happened.
Right.
It was wild.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you for sharing. That's cool. Number 5, write all of this down. That's number 5. Steps 1 through 4, write them down. If you are present and don't have pen and paper, listen to the podcast and then write it down. Step 6, read this aloud a minimum of twice daily before going to sleep and upon waking the next day. Now, why those 2 times? Ooh, this is going to be good. Here's why. You want to read it daily at least twice before going to sleep and upon waking the next day. is because your conscious mind is shifting to the unconscious. And vice versa. You're coming out of the unconscious mind, deep sleep, into conscious mind of the day, starting your day. You can directly influence that part of your mind when the brain is shutting down and when it's waking. Okay, so or for example, if you recorded yourself saying it and you let it loop all night while you're sleeping, it's getting into the subconscious mind. Because remember, the subconscious is listening to what's playing in the background. Well, when you're asleep, the background can be whatever, right? And sometimes the subconscious plays to you in dreams. That comes from the subconscious mind. Pay attention to your dreams. It's showing you unheard or unseen things by your conscious mind. Does this make sense? Your conscious mind may not be seeing all the things your subconscious is picking up on, and your subconscious is then playing the movie for you while you sleep of some of the things that it's picking up on, and you get to choose, yes, I'm going to invest in paying attention to that, or I'm going to bring it to a halt in my life. So I have dreams that are uncomfortable, and it's like, ooh, that's kind of weird and not really where I'm headed, but it's showing me that there's something in my conscious daytime that I'm giving attention to, and it's not the real me. It's not healthy. So it's like a wake-up call. Or it shows me inspiring things. Like I've seen wonderful promises in dreams, wonderful things. Like, yes, I'm on board with that. Yes, and then now that I'm awake, I'm saying the yes, and I'm feeling it, and I'm beginning to fertilize those seeds and water those seeds. Okay, step 7: remain grateful for everything in your life, including that which is already done. Meaning the goal that you're holding in mind, if you hold it in mind, that means you're seeing it. If you're feeling it and believing it, and you know what it's like in your body when you feel and you believe something. If you are doing that, then it's already done. You're seeing it. Get it? You are seeing it in your mind, and you're believing it. What's real, remember we started this by saying thoughts become things. So if you're seeing it and believing it here and feeling it in your body, it's done. The only thing that can stop you is you at that point. Just keep pressing forward into the thing. Remain grateful for what you have in your life. Remain grateful for everything in your life. Everything in your life. Remain grateful for everything in your life. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. Remain grateful for everything in your life, because that is continual positive energy. If you're not grateful for everything in your life, if you're ungrateful for anything, then the subconscious is picking up on that. This is your power. This is your power. We've learned ungratefulness, and we think it's okay, and then we wonder why the struggle is real. It's just you. That's why the struggle is so real. Be grateful. Be grateful. 400 million in one chance of you being you. Be grateful. Be grateful. It doesn't matter what shoes you're wearing or what your spouse is like. It doesn't matter. Like, none of the troubles really matter. That's all an illusion that create the opportunity for you to keep climbing up. That doesn't mean it's easy until it is. That's all up to you. How easy it's going to be. It's all right here. Okay, what is a plan? A plan is the course of action one will take. By cultural understanding, a plan is a step-by-step conception or proposal for accomplishing an objective, a systematic arrangement of elements or important parts, an outline. The problem with plans is your egoic expectation and the elements of this life experience that you can't control. That's the problem with a plan, right? Is we can begin to expect things and let our ego kind of get involved, and we clearly can't control all the elements of I'm having to pause and check there. We can't control all the elements. There's a lot we can't control. That's all I can really say about that at the moment. These present the illusion of separation, the ego, the expectations, and these adverse experiences that we may have present the illusion of separation, as if the goal isn't true or can't come true. But that's the internal war all persons must engage in. The appearance of things in the physical and the appearance of things in the spiritual or the mind. The true plan is about knowing who you are and what you are here to do. This is the best plan you can have, is to know who you are and what you're here to do. Because then no matter what the circumstances present, you still have your focus. You still know the truth of who you are and what you're here to do. And you know that life is on your side to perform and create just that. Forget all the circumstances and the troubles that may come and go, the people who may come and go. That doesn't matter. Those are just the opportunities to keep overcoming and keep moving forward. They are opportunities. The struggles are opportunities, actually. They don't deter or delay you. They push you forward. If you will use them, they push you forward. But, okay. The universe favors the individual and teams who understand these two keys. Who are you? What are you here to do? And it will submit to their desire willfully because they are the definition of godlike royalty. When I said it's your birthright, this is your birthright, like, this is what it means to be created in the image of God. We've talked about the mirror, the reflection of you. This is the image of God. And you are that. And that, at its like deepest core, is a sacred, noble thing. And life is just waiting for you to wake up to who you are so you can use all the power that it is. There we go. That's some heavy stuff. Mm-hmm.
Can you read step number 1?
Step 1. Know exactly what you choose to love. That magnet that draws you to it for good. If you love a thing, but it's not creating anything good, we have a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is, we might say, I've used this example before, I love pizza. It's like, okay, what a waste. Like, come on now.
Who doesn't?
We can, yeah. So, we're talking about the true essence of love. It creates good. Yeah.
Can I say something about, I've been learning about attachment theory. Is anyone familiar with that? It's, psychology, but it's the difference between what we tend to think of as love and attachment is something entirely different. But most people, like in relationships, we tend to get into relationships because of what you just said. It's like I forget how you put it already, but we are choosing to love something or someone for some reason.
We're calling it love.
Yeah, because we're attached to that dynamic or that thing. Though it draws us to them, but it's not actually love at all because we're not loving ourselves either. We're just being drawn into the vortex, whatever it is that we're stuck on.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that whole thing like changed my life in the last 6 months. Because it changes your worldview when you can recognize that, and you're self-aware enough in relationships with other people to realize why you're attracted to them in whatever form, Is it a pure love, or is it I need this from them, or they need this from me and therefore I feel good, or whatever it is. There's a lot of dynamics.
Right.
But if you can like get a hold of that in your life, it can totally change the relationships you have.
Right.
And not be hung up on stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which has been very helpful.
Well, that is the first part of creating the life you love. I don't think anyone wants to create a life that they hate. No one wants that. We would choose to love our lives and love ourselves and love our people, our groups, our families, our friends. And so what's all this other, shame and heartaches and mistakes? What's all that about? We just need a change of our thinking to handle those things better. That's all for now.
Can I say something?
Oh yeah.
I don't even think it's a matter of choosing a life that you love or choosing a life that you hate, but like choosing a life that you love, not a life that you're okay with, or I kind of like this, like the whole point of life is to get to doing what you love, choosing what you love, and doing that every single day, not like sparingly because I like this job well enough I can stick it out, like I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be a love or a hate. It could be a love or a I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like it's a spectrum. It's not just two polar ends.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's
good.
all.
That's a good point because it can create like a complacency because you're comfortable enough.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'm
there you
okay with
Yeah.
this,
Right.
but it's not what really drives me. I'm not passionate. I don't love this. This is not.
Having the relationships, you're like, I'm
Yeah.
okay with this. I mean, I still.
It's okay.
I mean, we've known each other for so long, but shit.
Right.
The last couple of years have been both relationship and job. Exactly that.
Right.
This is kind of good enough.
It'll work for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. I wanted to say another like personal experience because what you're talking about, I don't know, the last 6 months have been radical for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought process that you've introduced through other meetings and in our retreat and stuff has totally changed the way I react to things. Because as you guys sort of know, but I've never talked about it, I went through some stuff last year, and it was like my entire life blew up like a volcano. And the truth is, though, that I learned 3 months after the fact, 3 months of like pure suffering, I finally found out that I'm totally in control of how I reacted to all of that. Like, it was a horrible thing. But I could have shifted my whole perspective even at the time. And because it wasn't something that I had to let control me. But it was like the worst thing ever in my view at that time. And I let it take out half of my year, pretty much.
Yeah.
But when I realized it, that was the learning process, and I totally can embrace that now. And it took me 3 months to do it, where I was able to go, I did learn through that. It was horrible, but I'm happy. Like, I'm glad that happened. Not really, but, I'm glad I came through it, because it really did change me, and it made me realize that I can do that for the rest of my life. I don't have to be under other, circumstances control. And before that, it had taken me, let's say, 10 years to get to a point where the bad marriage, finally translated into, okay, I can accept that and I can see it for good purposes of what I've learned. It took me 10 years to learn that. But with this last thing, it took me 3 months.
Yeah.
Because of the new mindset. So
You're awesome.
I'm really grateful.
That's awesome.
It's a relief to be able to get out of that and not have to stay there longer.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. It's powerful.
Thanks for listening to the Healing Voice podcast. The verses I read from James 1, Matthew 18, and 1 Corinthians 13 are my own THV translation and are available at thvtv.com. Sign up for Bible Redefined. Email me at thvtv@protonmail.com to inquire about a free trial of the Bible Redefined library. I also invite you to try the identity process. Go to the website, thv-tv.com, to make your initial appointment. Feel free to email me at thvtv@protonmail.com. THV is also on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, BitChute, and library.tv. That's lbry.tv. I'll leave the links in the description.